a mix of players for most of them. A bit of a mishmash between the Order core and the Vertex core now. They're going to give themselves a crack, and I'm sure they definitely have their eyes on that DreamHack spot as well. Whole bunch of these players within their various rosters have been some of our representatives over at the conference. So these are the kind of tournaments they want to sink their teeth into and give themselves the opportunity to qualify for, so that they can show that they're not just good caliber players for Oceania, but also good caliber players for what I would say is probably the I would say tier 2.5 of competition in a lot of these challenger events.
All right, well, jumping into map number 1 between Encore and VERTEX. It's going to be Dust 2. I didn't actually quite catch the veto before we
have a look through
went
it.
in.
I'll have a look through it.
Look, if I had to take a guess, I'm probably saying this would be an Encore map.
You'd be correct. So Encore picked Dust 2, VERTEX pick Inferno, Nuke is the decider.
All right, interesting. Well, very hefty stack over toward Long from Encore at this point in time. All 5 members heading up in that direction, and it is just PZ, really, that is looking to defend the A bomb site. Little bit of a hole in the smoke there, and that's going to be taken advantage of by Malta, who's going to be able to find that opening pick onto Apel. But doesn't stop the offensive into the site, and hazr able to get that bomb plant down.
Going to have to be these players with P250 armor to get the heavy lifting done for Encore, I would say here. But a fair bit of retake utility in from VERTEX, just piling in the flashes and kicking off this retake.
Not looking too good right now for VERTEX. Already a strong hold from Encore. A couple of frags do come through, and Malta, not really being able to find the timing here to get any frags. It is just Brace who has done some damage in the retake. And even though they had the numbers advantage, I don't think it's going to quite go their way. Brace, he tried to clutch it. You got a bit excited, Pilski, but definitely a little bit too much for him.
That was a pretty nice shot on the player at Goose, for sure. He had that kid as well. I wanted to see him make it happen, but didn't quite get it across the line. Now we're going to get the force up from VERTEX. Going to give this round a bit of a crack. Is it going to be the full commitment of the force? I'm not seeing everyone buy up just yet. There we go. PZ holding a little bit of cash for that AWP fund later on, but yeah, 5-7, Deagle, Scout. There's a fair bit of firepower in this buy, but Encore are not looking to play any games here. Contact straight out on beat. Lots of pressure piling up on Brace as he's on that close angle, but he's at least going to deck the first player as they come out B, and that's great crosshair places from him.
Well, that starts to make things a little bit more interesting. Saw a couple of these force buy rounds for VERTEX in their match against Aftershock, and they were able to put them to good use. Malta with a dirty one, and PZ with another very good one. The scout in his hands on Overpass definitely did some work. Have to see whether or not that is going to ring true in this matchup as well.
A lot of mid-rounder going on from both teams. Push into Upper Dark for VERTEX, wanting to confirm where the site hit's going to be. Do have that man advantage. They've got control of the middle of the map, and they're trying to use that to get a little bit of a timing, maybe go up cat or go late long. They're going to run into this player rotating through C spawn, and they should be well and truly aware of that, but you still are just lopping both of them down before they can even get over towards that long position like they wanted to. And deep CT smoke provides full coverage for Encore to cross. PC still picking one through the top of the smoke there, though.
We'll be able to get that bomb plant down. We have the 2-on-2 that will ensue once again. It looks like some nice post-plant positions here, though, for the T side. Sterling just up on the site. Ustillo not quite going to get the timing right there, and he doesn't pay attention to bedroom doors. So Valiance is able to find the freebie. But that timer is ticking away pretty fast, and you're up against a player like Sterling. He's liable to win these. Not able to land the shots on PZ, and Valiance comes through from behind to clutch it out. Another force buy win for VERTEX.
Yeah, but the bomb plant's definitely going to complicate things here. Encore, we'll see what they want to put together here, because a lot of the time, this is a team that they love they love fighting for economy control early. They love to force things back, try to, maybe go scout armor, maybe go for AK drops and things like that. It's a bit of a weird amount of money for them, though. Like 2 to 2.5k is not the kind of cash where you're feeling like really confident that you want to be forcing up with like dropped AKs or Galil armor, because you just really won't have that much util. So They're going to opt to just take the single save, upgrade a couple of pistols, and see what economic damage that they can get done, and then try to fight things out in the next gun round if possible.
Oh, re-smoke there. Or insta-smoke, really, from Valiance, I should say. Not interested in letting that molly linger. Not interested in really opening the door up for Ustillo to find some little inroads.
Like it's just going to be a late contact out long, which really has kind of found the weak link in this defense. I mean, Malta could get a bit of a farm on with this MP9, but he's already copped a dink right off the bat, so he only goes 1 for 1. I'd say that's a pretty nice rotation timing for Encore to be abusing.
Backside's going to get boosted up, though, and he should really have this one on lockdown. Has spotted the shoulder of Sterling there. That's going to send Encore packing back out through the bedroom doors. Looking for another avenue of attack.
Trying to squeeze blood out of a stone right now, Encore. Not a whole lot invested in this round, but just trying to make the CTs work for every kill, and if they make some mistakes, maybe they can pinch some extra guns.
Oh, Vexite makes it look easy against the pistols.
Yeah, great flash as well. Great supported flash from Brace in towards middle. Always something that is a joy to watch for this Vertex squad is just their ability to flash for each other and play off each other's utility in the mid-round. It's them and, well, Renegades and now Order, who have always kind of been a cut above in terms of their util usage, I feel, in this region.
I suppose that's going to be the difference between a good team and a great team. I mean, Encore has had no shortage of opportunities lately to go overseas and really work on things and mesh together as a roster. And I know that they have just made that recent change with Licky moving out of the team, but you'd have to say this is a really good sort of passage of what's the word? Maybe like a great passage of opportunities for them. Sure. And I'd really love to see how they would go in a matchup against Order, actually, because that is not a game that we've seen recently, and I think they might be up to the task at the moment with the struggles that Order have been having. Either way, it's something we'll have to wait for, as we are down into the 3-on-3 now, and Vertex are trying their best to still defend this A bomb site, putting that Molotov through, and Vexite, I don't know if that one's going to work out against a player like Ustillo, who would be well aware of what he's trying to do. Played together for a long time. It was Sterling that ended up getting that frag, but had it not been, Ustillo would have got it for sure. So some of those tendencies may be starting to be exploited a little bit by former teammates. Valiance and Brace to try to clutch out the 1-on-2. This grenade, though, might bring it back to the 2-on-2. Not quite. It looked like it was going to be good, but maybe just not deep enough.
Sterling just holding that contact for the elevator player. Valiance already finds a pick in the meanwhile, and one of the players poking his head up over the site. Just enough damage through the corner of the wall to finish off Brace there, and Valiant's trying to keep that last player locked into the site and take an extra gun away with him if he can, but with his save, you will be able to get that buy through in the next round for Vertex, and they've taken 3 guns off of Encore, who, let's be real, in that gun round got a lot out to the little. They did not have a whole lot of utility. They took long early, and they just kept things relatively simple, trading 2 for 2 on that long A contest, and then just using what little utility they had as a little bit of a launching pad into that A site, and just getting themselves in an afterplant. It's simple CS, but it's effective. You can't really run that long drawn-out default against that CT side team when you don't have the utility for it.
Yeah, so far some pretty tight rounds. It kind of feels like neither team has broken away with this game just yet. Obviously, the money is still a little shabby on that CT side. Brace has to go down to the 5-7, so this could be the advantage that Encore is able to exploit and really break the game open.
Yeah, they know the CTs took long there, so hazr trying to exploit the gaps in the defense, but Vexite well and truly on top of that, on that rotation roll, well aware that a team wants to try to walk out middle and maybe try to cut the map in half, try to find a pick on that player rotating through CT. Big impact from Vexite, a second from him as well. This is an important gun round, Jordan. This one will definitely be a bit of a swing round, and whoever loses it will find their economy kind of in tatters, and So far, it's looking like that's going to be Encore unless they can use this short A control as a launching pad into the A site and leverage that to win the round. But look at this counter utility in from the CT straight away.
Yeah, look, going to be pretty tough for Encore here. They'll need to hit some absolute banger entries and do them cleanly. Can't be really affording any trades. Bring it back to 3-on-3 as quickly as you can, and maybe then you can play that post plan out. But if they lose 1 or 2 on this entry, I think it's just going to be a little bit too much for them. And as we watch, it just seems like PZ and Vexite have this one on lockdown pretty comfortably. One smoke. They get tossed into CT spawn, but aside from that, there's not really that much util to play with for Encore. The volley at least is able to push Vexite back and isolate PZ and a couple of one-on-ones, but he'll win both of them. In fact, all 3 of them. And that is another round for VERTEX. They're up 3-2. They have the advantage. They've won that swing round, and this is now their playground.
Yeah, PZ, I mean, everyone really did, but PZ in particular had a monstrous series against Aftershock just before. And it doesn't look like he slowed down in the momentum at all. Vexite definitely putting in a lot of work in that round, though. Picking that player, trying to cut the map in half on that rotation through B, through mid, rather, over towards B. That's exactly what you want to be doing, is that CT rotator. Definitely cannot afford to, after you go for that long take on the CT side, allow yourself to get caught off guard by those Ts looking for timings out mid. There's a chance now for VERTEX to try to cement their economy in an easier quote-unquote round, but Encore, as we often do see early on, are really investing a lot of money into trying to win these rounds. Hero AK on APOC. Only a handful of grenades across the whole team, but they're trying to get it done with Deegs and armor.
I believe it is APOC calling now for Encore.
I'd say there would probably have been a degree of that anyway.
But he's given himself the AK, or someone else has given it to him. By the way, we'll see what he can get done with the weapon. A little bit of util to assist it. So there's a smoke and a couple of flashes here to play with. But as ever, counter util. Always looking quite solid for VERTEX. They're quite good in holding on to it until they need it.
Yeah.
It's a very nicely timed incendiary. And it's going to more or less dissipate the effectiveness of that smoke. Encore is still going to try to make use of what remnants of it there are, but inevitably it's going to fade, and PZ is going to strike off the back of that. Vexite's going to look for a little bit more here as well, and he gets a double, so really nothing to write home about for Encore.
Yeah, PZ and Vexite are playing the CT side absolutely picture perfect. Both of those last 2 rounds, PZ multi-frags, Vexite multi-frags. PZ picks one on the cross as they try to force up short. HE gets dumped over towards that Gandalf position, counter flash over the top, up behind Vexite, and he swings with it. Just utilizing the grenades to basically shut down that round before it really gets going. They know that if Encore's on a force there, they don't have the utility to be able to trade down. They've got to use a handful of utility just getting through the map, and they only had, you know, a couple grenades that they could rub together to try to cross in towards site, and just really wasn't enough. VERTEX just using their grenades a little bit better, and they had a whole lot more of them. Now they've forced Encore onto a save. This will give them a 5-2 lead, and with that already being a clean round, their economy is starting to skyrocket. If they can have a clean anti-eco here, they're going to have money for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be a bit of a rude awakening for Encore, who I think would have come into this event, into this qualifier, and just thought, not necessarily that they're a shoe-in, but they definitely are the favorites for it. And they're going to be really made to work to win this round and win this map, and potentially even this series as well. Managed to at least get the bomb plant down here, but short of maybe dislodging Malta. I was going to say there was not much in that round for them, and they didn't even get halfway through that. So 5 guns retained again for VERTEX. 5-2 the lead, and Encore going to be wondering what are they going to do to turn this around. What's the plan B? Because clearly plan A is not working.
I mean, I think the initial couple of gun rounds haven't gone well for them. Now they're starting to build up their loss bonus. They can start fighting for these rounds. They haven't had an opportunity with this AWP on Sterling and a full belt of utility across the majority of the team. So this is their first chance to actually start cracking in there with gun rounds. The problem is that this lead has both ballooned out, not only in terms of rounds, but in terms of economy for Encore. But Encore, credit to them, they've been very consistently able to fight for this long control and take it. They've again got it in one of these gun rounds. So Let's see how they approach this, whether they use it for, like I said, that launching pad into that A exec, or whether they want to go back and diversify their map control, maybe try to take short and pinch A. The problem is they don't really have the utility for that. They only really have enough utility for an execute. They invested a whole lot of utility in taking long here. So I'd imagine it is probably just going to be the cross smokes and trying to get up in towards this A site. And you already start to see the rotation for VERTEX in response. And they're throwing out their own counter utility one way up on the site. Bound to be some counter flashes thrown in there at some point.
Yeah, VERTEX have committed a lot of forces onto this side of the map, leaving Valiance to his own devices on B, but they've got 4 members toward A, and it should be a quite stoic defense from them.
Yeah, there's no flashes here for the T side to cross at all. They've only got these 2 cross smokes, and that's it. So they can't flash up above car as they scale in. It's all going to be on raw entries and trading.
Vexite going to pop himself a smoke to play with as well. Just work around that as Encore tries to slowly get up toward the bomb site. Malta is sent through. The CT smokes with a flash, and Vexite peeks off the contact. It probably hasn't worked out as well as VERTEX would have wanted it to. But even then, they're making it work. And it's now down to just Sterling, who has had no shortage of highlights on this map with the AWP. But the way that the day is going so far for Encore, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. It feels like it should still be a VERTEX round. He's played the timing nicely, but it's also allowed Brace to start to work his way up ramp. And he's going to be waiting patiently for Valiance just to try to 100% this round. Here comes the double swing. Info is there, but Valiance does go down, and now Brace in the one-on-one. As you mentioned, can just stick it. Is he going to get it in time? Hops off. Didn't need to stick it in the end, and probably wise that he gets off, because that was looking mighty close for Sterling, but in the end, another round victory for VERTEX.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue with that after plant. He obviously, like, you're in a 1-on-3, you don't have the luxury of planting open, but once you plant for plat, you can't really play the after plant from short if you are going to allow someone to play from sight. You could see, like, Sterling was posturing aggressively when he crossed the Gandalf. He didn't want to let someone up elevator, but unfortunately, Brace just threaded the needle in terms of the timing, made it across the ramp, and that's where that after plant becomes a little bit of a nightmare. Credit to Sterling, he gave it a good crack. They took a lot of guns away, and again, they're going for this long control without a whole lot of util. They're doing it a little bit more delayed this time, but they get out there, and some cracker entries from hazr, doubling up, giving them the man advantage, and now VERTEX pretty far out of position. Man disadvantage. Let's see if they can try to recover this round.
Could be another swing round in it. If VERTEX wins it,
yeah, they'll
keep that hype train rolling. But for now, you'd have to say it's probably Encore's round, though with Ustilo and hazr being quite low, raises some concerns.
Yeah, it does hinge on the plant. The Encore very, very patient, waiting for some mistakes, waiting for some kind of a flank, just cutting sound. They're going to throw out one smoke for the time being, just try to draw out whatever util they can. They're not actually committing off this, but really trying to draw a reaction out of VERTEX before they actually kick off their site hit. But VERTEX are reading this as a B site hit, a bit of an A fake. Just that one player throwing that smoke from pit is something that you often do see. Unfortunately, they do have a bit of a misread, so this might just turn into a save.
Yeah. I think that's the most likely course of action now for VERTEX. I mean, their money's good, but it's not that good that they can afford to go for this 3-on-4 post plant.
Yeah. And this is the upside to just freezing in the mid round. When you have man advantage, like freezing 30 to 40 seconds, you force those CT rotations to just kind of naturally float apart unless they want to kind of gamble stack on the site. If you just wait for enough time and cut sound for the CTs to know that you've had the opportunity to rotate through the map, unless they've got some advanced position, like someone's sitting in your spawn or someone's got a ton of info, you are naturally just going to force those CTs to respect the rest of the map. And sometimes you'll get rounds off that. Sometimes it won't work out, but more often than you'd think, you just pull an extra rotator or you pull a bit of a reaction and it gives you those extra couple of percentage points. And in that case, I mean, it allows Encore to have that clean round that they wanted despite having 2 players pretty low off that initial long contact. And that's going to effectively buy them another gun round later on.
Still a fair bit of work to be done, though, by Encore. You don't want to see the same thing happening as what we did for Aftershock against VERTEX, where they would win one round and then instantly VERTEX would respond in kind and maybe even better. If VERTEX is able to win this round really cleanly and just throw another statement down, then it could really be all for naught for Encore, but the entries into long worked out perfectly. That could have been a real mess for VERTEX, a bit of a traffic jam on long. They're going to recontest though. Both teams end up scurrying away from long. It's a 1-for-1 exchange, but PZ might have found that timing. That AWP is so mobile. He was over on long just a second ago, and now he's already into mid. Gets again a little bit stuck, but is able to survive, and he's going to challenge and continue to fight. What madness is going on in this round?
Yeah, backed up by his teammate this time at least. This timing in mid could be absolutely everything as these players start to reposition into upper Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Sterling probably has a bit of a read on PZ now. And indeed, is just going to wait patiently for that creep to come out. But maybe that's info. Maybe Valiance now can set himself. But APOC with 30 HP. It's a clean entry. Headshot to boot. And all of a sudden the round swings away from a 4-on-3 to now a 2-on-3. And VERTEX without a chance.
And that's, you know, the proficiency of a good T-side Dust 2 team. Understanding how the rotations work on this map. Understanding that you can just... Even when you're at a mad disadvantage, if you control the middle of the map, if you're like close double doors like that, it's difficult for the CTs to be able to rotate in these XVX situations, and you can end up getting, despite having a man disadvantage overall across the whole map, man advantages on that B-side entry. Probably should have gone 1-for-1, but APOC awareness on point, crosshair placement on point, hits a cracker of an entry and makes their life that much easier. Even if they go 1-for-1 though, most likely Sterling wins that duel in middle because he had that timing. Even if APOC dies, that's probably a trade on the close player, and that's still a pretty decent scenario for Encore. That's a 2-on-2 with the middle of the map in their favor, and they're going to be able to plant on B and get a whole bunch of time off the clock. VERTEX quite responsible with their economy lead this game though. They've been saving weapons here and there, and that's buying them extra gun rounds over time. They've still got a little bit of cash in the back pocket even after losing a couple of gun rounds consecutively.
I mean, it starts to look a little bit more precarious though for VERTEX, doesn't it? 2 on the trot for Encore, bringing that economic advantage that VERTEX had sort of back into bear.
Again, Encore pressuring middle, mid to B smoke, close molly on the doors, making VERTEX nervous about this pressure on the middle of the map. VERTEX have been given that long control this time, so we'll see where Encore wants to go, whether they do want to pressure up short and actually push that player off, or whether they do just want to crack in on a mid to B here. Still kind of sitting stagnant in this 1-3-1, but seeing that B-side player kind of rotating into lower tunnel, maybe to lend additional util, might make it look like maybe a bit of a lean towards short. They just took short control, 44 seconds. I think without any long presence, it's kind of looking more like a mid to B. Race has still got a smoke here to be dropping. Valiance has got a smoke in the back of the site as well.
Isolating a few of those players away from play. This doesn't look too fantastic for VERTEX, particularly given that Vexai has been deleted by APOC. It's now going to come down to those 2 B players to really step up and have an impact. And already, you're seeing Brace get found out. Valiance was decapitated by Ustillo, and he'll get his man on Brace as well. So that's the B site opened on up. Malta's been spotted in upper dark. There's just one player left to find, which is PZ, and they've already suffered a loss to him, so they'd be reasonably aware that he's coming through from mid. Still, that'll get the better of Ustillo. And every chance that VERTEX can still win this round. Malta steps up with a nice double. And that is going to be it, falling to pieces a little more so for Encore this time than VERTEX, as that felt like it was a really important round for them to win.
Yeah, PC and Malta seem to be the power players today. Like I said, even in the Aftershock series, PC was doing quite well. Malta was having a fair bit of impact. They retained double AWP off of that as well. It's going to give them a bit of a different dimension to their play. Yeah, surprised to see them pull off that retake. The B-side defenders really didn't get very much value, despite the fact that they held those smokes so late into the round. I thought they were going to play around them a little better. Entries were clean for Encore, but retake was a little better. Surprising to see. Both teams quite good with their economy, though. Means that they're going to continue to buy. And APOC actually ripped that AWP off spawn. He bought that straight away rather than throwing it over to Sterling. He knew how to spawn for long. He had the confidence to actually take control of that timing. And he actually wins the AWP duel versus PC and gives Encore not only long control, but also the man advantage. You're going to see VERTEX cutting some corners to try to get back into the round. You're seeing this mid-round push in towards upper dark. Could definitely get punished.
Usilo finds Valiance. Exactly what you were talking about. He's going to start to lock down that B bomb side. I wonder, though, whether that will actually end up drawing the rotation. I thought perhaps if that double went the way of Brace, then Encore might have been in two minds. But obviously now, a 4-on-1, yeah, they're going to send the bomb over toward B. And Sterling's going to clean up backside anyway, so it doesn't matter. 7-5. Encore do stabilize a little bit off that. But it kind of gave VERTEX a bit of time to stabilize too. Their money's a bit weird at the moment.
Yeah, they kind of broke VERTEX's money off of that. Credit to them. That's what Encore do really well every time. Like, autonomously, each player understands what they need to do at a certain point in the round, despite the fact that they're all split up across the map. As soon as they got that AWP pick, they knew exactly how to play around what VERTEX wanted to do to get back into the round. They defended that upper dark push. They defended the players trying to peek out into the middle and try to even up the man disadvantage. And they were on top of that from every angle. Now Savage taking that duel out long, wins that. You just see like how all the different players on Encore, although they're taking like their own little timings, their own autonomy, it all kind of fits together with the whole macro of the round and what they're trying to do overall.
Not much in this round for VERTEX, unfortunately. APOC could be under a bit of pressure. Has run out of bullets in the AK, and that will be his undoing. But no AK retrieved and saved for Valiance, at least not for very long. 7-6, so still a very tight game between these two.
Definitely. Another opportunity for VERTEX to crack in for another round, though. Starting to run out of space in the half. Encore have well and truly cemented their economy. I'd say either way, there's not going to be much between either of these teams, but VERTEX, this is kind of where they play for two here. They have a cleaner round on this CT side. They're going to have less money issues next round. What an entry from Savage on that angle. Great counter strafe and raw adjustment on that, like third to fourth bullet. Find that headshot. That's not an easy shot to hit.
Brace definitely under some degrees of pressure there. The FAMAS is just not quite going to cut it, unfortunately. And PZ can't find much, but Valiance will. 3-man spray down. Well, maybe not quite a spray down, but you get the drift.
Yeah.
Leaving Savage in a 1-on-2. Pretty exciting young player, I find Savage. 1-on-2. Definitely workable for someone like him. See if he can step up in a big moment here in this qualifier. Excite going to go first, pistol in hand, not going to work out, and indeed it will be Savage to find the clutch for his squad.
That's so impactful. Not only does he find the entry on long, but then he 1v2s, he opens up the round and he closes it in a round where VERTEX's money is now a little bit cooked. They're only on that 2.9 heading into round number 15, so if VERTEX wins that round, they can put together a much more convincing buy, but now as it stands, 2 MP9s, a Deagle, an M4, and a Scout, all the back off a 1v2 clutch could potentially give Encore an easier 8th round, and there's even a pick on the cross for the cherry on the top.
Oh, there's a cherry on the top. It's a grenade hitting APOC. It's going to leave a bit of a cherry on the forehead, but ultimately the rest of the round, it's not quite going the way of VERTEX, is it? hazr has just deleted a couple in mid, and it leaves Malta on his own for the last round of the half. So not a whole lot really in that one in the end for VERTEX. As Encore will make it through to 8. Take a short break. See you in a minute.
It's when my feeling grows, I'm coming back to you. desire. Hey, shout it out in words unspoken. Shout it out above. When I step out of the
Welcome back to the second half between Encore and VERTEX, and well, so far it's been a pretty tight affair. Not really too much between the two teams. VERTEX did just manage to slip behind at the end of the half after having a very good start to it, so I guess maybe you give that momentum advantage to Encore, especially given the way that this pistol round does appear to be playing out, Pilski, but for now, anyone's game.
Two-player advantage here for Encore. Feeling pretty comfortable in this round. Timing out long could have been good for them, but Savage not really missing too much. He had a bit of a rough start to the game, but he's starting to pick up momentum, and I'm seeing a pretty big correlation between him tapping heads and Encore winning rounds. That's another one for him on that long position, and now a 1v4 for PZ. A little bit too much to handle. Encore is well and truly starting to truck away with this game at this point. CT pistol for him, going to get the money kick-started in the right way. And with no plant, that's going to make it a lot harder for VERTEX to challenge early.
I know it's not standard fare to have music packs on for the broadcast, but I actually kind of rate it. Also, I don't know how to turn them off, but I do kind of rate it. So, just putting it out there.
That's fine. What music we got? Do we have any sale today?
You didn't hear you can't hear it, can you?
Nah.
I think you could unmute, and you probably would be able to. But anyway, we had that one that was like dun 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 dun. You know that one?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I
Kind
like
of
that
fitting
one.
to this what's happening in this round right now.
And we had an easy for Ents as well, a fair bit in that first half. I think we're probably going to be getting a little bit more dun 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 dun. Oh, we just got easy for Ents.
Yep.
Easy
That
for
was
Ents.
easy for Ents.
Who's easy for Ents?
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out who's got what music pack. I think easy for Ents might be Ustillo, and I think dun 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 is Savage.
Okay.
We'll keep it up. We'll keep keep an eye on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jordan. They're going to be able to buy a lot of music packs because they have a lot of money.
That's true.
That was a clean anti-eco. And now VERTEX are going to try to kick this off with their first gun round. Got to go down to a couple of Galils just to be able to have the U-tilt. Look at this mid-crunch straight in towards upper tunnels. 4 players committed to that from Encore. Going to get nothing but map control while VERTEX takes long.
Oh, they might not get map control.
That is beautiful.
Ooh, yeah.
Really nice crosshair placement for Brace. And now they're going to split straight into that A site. Valiance has even got Lower Dark further covered.
But do they expect a third player? Do they expect Ustillo to come through with an FB9? Certainly not, but inevitably they'll have enough numbers to collapse upon that. Apoc, though, we've seen some magic from him with this weapon on this map before, and they're going to go clean past him. He doesn't hold down. Oh, he gets the double. And an AK in hand now as well. Apoc could well win this round for not quite.
That's all right. He's done a lot of damage. And Savage 1v2, even with the FAMAS, I'd probably back him. Malta is going to go around the world. He's going to go check out Malta. Then he's going to go check out a couple other countries. Back towards long. Oh, it's actually PZ who's running around. God. Definitely didn't learn my Swedish. Unlike VERTEX. I don't know what's going on. They got a lot of util though. They can definitely block off some of these angles. Oh, cheeky mid to B smoke from long. Just to fake him out. But that's actually a bit of a tell from Savage. Because he hasn't seen anyone throw that. So he knows they're long now. That's actually kind of cooked him, Jordan.
He's got himself an AK as well. So give him every chance in this kind of a round. Molotov over. Doesn't quite find that timing onto PZ. Now to be forced back by that molly tossed on in. He'll take that challenge. But not up to the task. So VERTEX will creep one closer. See
Yeah.
if we get the force buy in here from Encore again.
It's not even really a force. Like that last round was kind of their bonus, even though they did have a fair bit invested in it. So they are going to buy up. Look, a couple of players down to maybe not the right amount of util or maybe not the right amount of weaponry. Down to an MP9, down to a FAMAS, but not too bad across the board. Pretty decent buy. That's a nice timing for Sterling to pop out long there, avoids the flashes and picks up Brace. The flash coverage not effective enough for VERTEX to take that long control. Apoc looking to further extend this advantage through mid doors, but forget about it. Malta's actually the one to find the pick on short, so things are starting to look a little better for VERTEX until Yusilo forces on short.
Apoc's going to take that challenger to mid, perfectly timed as well. Vexite had a nade in hand. He will ultimately fall to PZ, who is putting in the work today on this map. 20 and 10. And yet we need to ask for more from him. Another double kill required, and this time a 2-on-1 clutch as well. Sterling might have missed a crucial shot with that one, because PZ now has the opening to work his way into CT spawn, out onto A, but where does he even want to go? Maybe it's back toward B.
I mean, he's threaded the needle in terms of the timing. He's read this one very well. Starts to run. HE nade in front of him was dropped. Not the piece of util he was looking for. Barely gets into the B site, but Hazard's got nice timing to try to sneak up here. Very nice. Reads that rotation over towards B. Blocks his head off. That's going to be an 11th for Encore. How does the bomb plant factor into all of this? I still probably think it's going to be a single save from VERTEX, because Valiance and Malta are very broke. They're going to be on 2.73k, so look, we'll see what VERTEX want to be going for. They did take a lot of guns away from Encore, so their economy is still very fragile. There is a bit of a window here to break cash, but I honestly would not mind just exactly this half buy. Techie armor, maybe something a little quicker. Try to take a couple guns out of their hands, maybe get into a quick after plant. That's what I'd like to see.
Apoc's going to get aggressive up mid. M4 not able to land any shots this time, but he's got a bit of info, seen some players trending toward long, and as a result, gonna use that info to send some reinforcements in that direction.
Yeah, a lot of control over here. Single flash and a smoke is all VERTEX have got to work with to get across to the site, though. And Encore, a lot of counter utility. Just that one flash over the top is really not going to do them any favors. This is easy pickings for Sterling.
Yeah, this is really where Sterling does his best work, isn't it? Fish in a barrel type situation. And so Brace is left alone against 5, and you sort of feel like a bit of that pressure maybe gets released on that round. Lots of money going back into the pockets of Encore. VERTEX take their foot off the gas a little bit. It's unfortunate. I feel a little bit sorry for PZ because he's having a stellar game, but he just isn't getting enough backup from the rest of the lads. And slowly but surely, you're seeing Encore creep ever closer to 16.
I mean, that was a big round, right? They really cemented their money. So that's going to give them a little bit of a safety net should a couple of these rounds go awry. They've got a nice full round lead. You're definitely favoring Encore at this point, but here's a good buy for VERTEX. Full util. PC's got his hands on the Zoom banger. So this could be where they start to chip in a little bit of work. And let's be real, at this point in the game, they still only need 2 on the trot. They just need 2 solid gun rounds. They can break that CT economy, and all of a sudden it's a neck-and-neck game.
Well, looks like we have a little bit of a tech pause here, ladies and gents. No idea when that's going to be sorted out, but all good.
Do you want some filler content, Jordan?
Yeah, I'd love some filler content.
Okay, hold on. Can we go back to camps?
We can, actually. Where have you gone?
Yeah. I just wanted to...
Oh, you've just muted yourself.
As I mute my mic by touching it. I just wanted to tell everyone that I'm Elfish Guy.
Oh, you're the Elfish Guy now.
Yeah.
All right, you look pretty good there, actually.
You reckon?
Yeah.
This was meant to be my Christmas costume.
I thought it was going to be a Christmas gift for me. You've just literally scammed me.
I mean, Would I give you something I only spent $2.80 on? What do you think?
Yes. Actually, I think you already got me some sort of crappy headband.
What crappy?
Yeah, it was sub $5.
It was selfie with Elfie. It was hashtags Elfie.
Hashtag Elfie is what it said on it.
Yeah.
That was less than $5.
And it was like a
if I remember
tiara
right.
from Kmart.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I spent my life savings on that. Oh well, I'll try and get you a better gift.
Well,
Jordan,
the only other gift you gave me was those plane stickers.
Yeah. I
was
actually
a
do
bad gift
have
as
another
well.
gift to give you on the weekend.
Oh, I'm
So
excited.
get excited about that.
I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. All right, I'm
what
getting
every-
excited for more Counter-Strike Pilski because that's where we're at. We're back in the game.
Probably stop derailing, even though it's a bit of a slower round. Bit of a lower default from Vertex. Working the map. Trying to get those players through lower dark. Go and take some cat control. Nice flash over the top of the entrance. Molly to short. Working the map like a ball of dough.
That's one way of putting it. It's a new one. Haven't heard that from you before.
Because my girlfriend's a baker. That's why.
Oh.
Getting inspiration from my surroundings.
He talks about it being a slow round, and it certainly is.
Yeah,
Not a bad
55
nade.
seconds. Vertex has like denied them info on short, and now they're going to go mid to B. But Savage playing close doors, and with that molly coming in like off the wall, they might read that as a player in CT and not properly be able to check close towards doors.
This is a nice position for hazr. Seen him do a lot of good work from a spot like that before, and he'll be prepared for it now as well after that contact's come through from mid. Only the one player, but that's fine. That's good enough. Numbers are definitely there for Encore, and APOC having now tucked himself behind Car. Surely doesn't get checked quickly enough, and indeed will find that double clean as a whistle. 13 is up for Encore,
That's
and they're one
huge.
step closer to victory.
Yeah, I mean, double down from APOC, but Savage actually multi-frags close doors, exactly like I said. The molly, like, off the wall is sometimes, like, a bit of a false sense of security as the tease. You're like, molly probably came in from CT. I can, like, mid to B smoke and get outdoors here, maybe. Then you get decked by the player playing close doors. And just in general, like, a really nice setup from Encore reading what Vertex wanted to do with that slower round. Now they're well and truly out in front. Anti-eco. Lot of pistols being invested in here and some good flash coverage, but still only goes 2 for 1. And Savage further extending that advantage for Encore. Vertex now a whole lot invested in that long take and not a single player left on the ground over there. If that shot had connected from Malta, we could have been talking about something, but fortunately not to be.
Yeah, it seems to have really slipped away from Vertex, hasn't it? It was not a bad first half, but this second half has just not come together at all for them. They've had the one round only. And I'm afraid if you're playing against a team like Encore, that's just not going to be good enough. They're a very well-drilled team on this map. So Savage got a 3K, and we got dun da 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 da. So that's definitely him. I think we can lock that one down. I think we know.
Back timeout for Vertex. Gonna have a chat about the fact that they've kind of been getting smacked for maybe like the last 10 rounds or so. It felt like we were at like a 6-6 scoreline or something like that, and then Encore, they started winning some rounds towards the tail end of their T half. And now they've just been absolutely slamming Vertex on CT, who have just not really been able to get too much rolling. Another buy. Might be last chance saloon here for Vertex. Rifles and armor, all the util. They've got the AWP. No excuses on this one to come up with a good call after attack pause. Let's see what they have discussed.
Hope Vertex have come up with something. Otherwise, we're going to be making a swift exit from this map and heading towards map number 2. PC continues the good work, finding at least a 1-for-1 in this case, so keeping the numbers adequate on the side of VERTEX.
Yeah, Savage just util dumping on short, trying to make VERTEX uncomfortable about going towards that position, pushing them into Sterling, who's whiffed a couple up, but actually what's been whiffed is the mid to B smoke. I'm not sure, where's Valiant's at? Is Valiant, okay, Valiant is in mid, he could have thrown that mid to B smoke, but now VERTEX kind of feel like they missed the timing here. hazr alone on the B side is definitely the weak link here, and VERTEX looks like they just want to scale straight out to B with a couple of flashes.
hazr is there, and he is a very stoic defender, but this time he might have come unstuck. Too many numbers and didn't quite get his timing right. He'll have to rely on his teammates to make this one happen. With that position, though, of Vexite, you have to wonder if this is going to come together cleanly for Encore. Savage, though, so deep out already into the site, and they haven't got the bomb plant down. He could do so much work, and does. A clean double 180 headshot there from Savage, and that is exactly why he is a very exciting up-and-coming player. Speaking of which, Vexite used to hold that mantle, but unfortunately has no time in this to clutch it out.
Whoever picked Valiance on the cross there is MVP that round, by the way. Like, he was the one player with a door smoke, and then I think he got wallbang headshot through the door and died with the smoke. And then they had no cross smoke, and that was a massive problem for VERTEX that whole round. Would have definitely closed that XVX, but unfortunate. Last round now, great tag on the cross from PZ, still trying to do these heroics, but here's a mid push, both Savage in lower dark and a player top mid. It's Sterling just picking Valiants up, and the off angle from Savage is just dismantling this T-side round from VERTEX. Malta trying to bring it back from long, though.
PC really needs to equalize it here. He's got opportunities, but he's not landing the shots. And it's on to Malta now, 1-on-4 to save the map. I don't think it's going to happen. Encore have just looked a little bit too well drilled on this CT side, and it feels like a relatively anticlimactic end to the map, if I'm being honest, after what was quite a close first half and a good effort being put in by VERTEX, and even a good day so far. You know, they've looked really solid in that first series, but as we were talking about, it sort of just falls apart a little bit in those kinds of games against the likes of Encore, the likes of Order, and they can look really good against, I guess, lower tier opposition, the teams that they're supposed to beat up, but the teams that they're maybe just a step below, they really do struggle against.
Yeah, that first half, reasonably close, but that second half, not close at all. That was like, what, 6-1 or something like that? No, like 8-1 in favor of Encore. They kind of slammed them on the CT side. They look